Welcome to the Soham practice. Today's practice, you can do it seated or you can do it lying down. So I'll explain the practice first of all so you can see the visual cues, and then you can choose whether or not you want to stay seated or whether you want to stay lying down. So in this practice we're going to visualize a small point of light. It starts at the base of the body and it comes up the front of the body and it pierces through the eyebrow centre and then it goes down the back of the body. And this point of light forms an almost kind of elliptical shape, and it's actually can then form more of an egg-like shape later. So it starts off in an elliptical shape and then it moves on to potentially an egg-like shape. So if you want to do the practice lying down, come to lie down now, and you can lie on your back. You can have your knees bent or straight. You could have a pillow underneath your head. You can have something underneath your knees. So it's your choice. I'm going to do the practice sitting up, but feel free to lie down at any point during the practice, particularly if you're feeling tired or your energy level is low. So whether you're seated or you're lying down, make sure you take time now to get yourself comfortable. Settling the body, noticing the contact of the floor, settling the spine once again and the head. Have the shoulders up towards the ears and then move them down the back. Closing the eyes if it feels comfortable, or you can just have them downcast. If you're lying down, you can have your hands just resting either side of your body. If you're seated, you could have them palm face up on your knee, palm down, or resting in the lap. Your preference. So once again, noticing the breath, and begin to focus on the inhale and the exhalation. If you know the Ujjayi breath, you can do a light Ujjayi. If you're not sure how to do Ujjayi, you can always go back to a previous video. I think it's in the first one. And you can relearn how to do this. Begin to sense that as you inhale, the breath is moving up the spine. And as you exhale, the breath is moving down the spine. Inhale, the breath moves up the spine. And exhale, the breath moves down the spine. And then visualizing a small point of light. It could be the point of a candle flame or a little sparkler. And we visualize this light coming up from the pelvic floor. Inhale, moving up the center line of the body. And it goes through the eyebrow center. And then this light moves down the back of the body, so out the back of the head. As you exhale, it moves down the back of the body. And then it comes through the pelvic floor and up the front of the body. So continuing like this, remember if you know Ujjayi breath, you can use a light Ujjayi. Inhale, the breath moves up the front of the body. Maybe feel the sternum lift a little bit. And exhale, the breath moves down the back of the body. And the shoulders move down towards the back of the heart. Inhale, the breath moves up the front of the body. Exhale, the breath moves down the back of the body. Each time the breath moves, visualize the pathway of the breath with this small point of light. And it's a bit like if you walk the same path multiple times, you'll find that the path becomes more deep and more easy to follow. It's a bit like that with this pathway. So each time your light moves up the front of the body and down the back of the body, try to visualize this pathway as becoming stronger, and it's also becoming deeper. Visualizing the pathway becoming stronger and deeper. We can also add on making the inhalation and the exhalation even during this practice. So we can inhale, the light moves up the body, the front of the body, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, the light moves down the back of the body, 2, 3, 4. But remember, with any of these breath practices, the breath should be easy. You should feel like you're getting enough breath. And if at any point you feel that you're not getting enough breath, return to a normal, natural breath for a few moments. So ideally with the breath practice, when we notice it, we want to notice that there's a rhythm. So ideally we can start with counting to make sure the inhale and the exhale is even. But after a while we want to drop the counting and just feel that natural, even rhythm of the breath. And then we can add the final layer to this breath practice, and that's listening for the sound so as we inhale. The breath moves up the front of the body, the light moves up the front of the body, and then listening to the sound hum as we exhale, and the light and the breath moves down the back of the body. So a so as the light moves up the front of the body, and a soft hum as the light moves down the back of the body. And if you like, you can change the focus. So instead the mantra becomes hum so. So you focus on the breath moving down the back of the body, hum, and up the front of the body, so. Hum down the back of the body, and so up the front of the body. This mantra, the Ham So mantra, is one of our universal mantras. The meaning of this mantra is I am that I am. So it's really about the interconnectedness of the world, of all of us. I am that I am. So when you're ready, slowly reversing, so leaving the mantra. And then leaving the visualization of the light. And then just resting your attention in your heart space or the mind space. Just taking a few moments here to notice how you feel. Noticing any subtle shifts of energy. Noticing any rise or fall of the breath. Noticing the emotions. And then slowly, when you're ready, once again come back into the room, wiggling your fingers, wiggle the toes. If you're lying down, you might want to move back to sitting now, roll over to your side, take a stretch, and then take a few moments on your right hand side with a pillow or your hands underneath your head. If you've been sitting, just take a few moments. You might want to rub your knees or make some shoulder circles, and then stretching out your legs. So however you feel, coming back into the present moment and noticing how you feel after that simple practice. So that was the So Hum. It's one of our universal mantras. Some mantras need to be given by a teacher to a student. Other mantras such as Om, such as So Hum, they're called universal mantras. And this means that anyone can use them. They can be really great for turning our attention inwards. Some of us can be easy to switch off, to move into a state of meditation. Others find it harder because we need something to focus on to lead us into that state of meditation. So again, this is a wonderful practice to do. You can do it as often as you like, the simple So Hum practice. It has various different layers, and there are other layers which I will explain in the subsequent class, but those simple layers can be good if we've done a bit more practice. If you find that there are too many layers for you, you can just simply stick to one of them. So you could stick to the So Hum, you could stick to the light moving up and down the body. You don't have to do all three of the layers, because the purpose of these practices are really to relax our mind. They're not to make us feel stressed. So if you feel that those layers are too much, just practice again and stick to one or two of those layers. Good. So just take a moment to take a pause there. Notice how you feel after the So Hum practice.